Then unlearn. You know perfectly well that only Barber Surgeon Guild members use them, and their membership excludes female midwives. We must be careful. A month ago, I was a thread away from arrest." Ella drew a sharp breath. "What?" "Finish cutting or we'll never eat." When Ella's knife rhythmically sliced vegetables, Matilda continued. "Do you remember Mrs. Kelly?" Ella nodded, recalling the nervous woman she met at the herb shop before. "She's been a frequent customer, now pregnant with her third child and buying remedies for herself and the children. A couple of months ago, her daughter Violet came down with a cough and a fever. Mrs. Kelly summoned a physician who bled the child and eventually the fever broke. The cough remained, though, and the child couldn't sleep, so the mother came to me for a remedy. I sold it to her and carefully told her the dosage, but the fool gave Violet too much." "Oh my!" Ella covered her mouth with her hand. "Calm yourself. The child is fine. Herbs are not as dangerous as the apothecary's remedies. She developed a rash and a bellyache. Bad, I know, but it would have gone away. The mother panicked, summoned the doctor again, and when he learned what she gave the girl, blamed me and my herbs, said that I'd poisoned the child." "But surely Mrs. Kelly realized her mistake and told the doctor the truth." Matilda tasted the soup, shaking her head. "Brace yourself, there's more. At the time I didn't know what happened to Violet, but I learned the details later. The next day, after Mrs. Kelly's visit, a constable showed up and took me to the station. Turns out Mrs. Kelly's husband is in a prominent position with the police, and his men oversaw the cases of many herb healers, including my jailed friends. I thought I was done for. My record book saved me, as well as the note I gave to the wife. When Mr. Kelly showed me the bottle as the evidence, I asked how it could be half empty if I instructed the mother to give the child only a couple of spoonfuls. Thank goodness you had the presence of mind to say this. Yes, he was livid with me and with his wife, but he let me go. Mrs. Kelly arrived the next day, all teary-eyed and apologetic, but I had it with her. The fool jeopardized everything I built. She pleaded with her husband to close the case, but he would not, and his people will keep their eyes open for any misdeeds from me. Ever since that visit to the station, I can't sleep at night." Matilda's head slumped as she finished the story. "I am so sorry." Ella opened her arms to embrace her friend. "How awful and unfair." "Well, now you know what you're getting into." Matilda straightened her apron and peered into Ella's face. "We must be careful and know our limits. You understand?" "Yes." "Now, let's have our supper and a pear tart to celebrate you becoming my assistant." She sauntered to the silverware drawer, but before she opened it, a loud knocking came from the door. "Matilda, open the door! I know you are home!" The voice belonged to a woman. Ella startled and stared at Matilda. The midwife's face blanched. "Maybe someone's in labour," Ella suggested. Matilda shook her head. "Let's hope so." She sighed and crossed herself.